Hello, welcome to the David Eagle podcast, week 2 of a new weekly series where we shall try to record something every single day and release something every week of 2026. And last week, you left us, me and my wife Ellie, on holiday in Marrakesh, Morocco. And that's where we will remain for the next few days. And January the 8th, you will hear all about our guided tour through the mountains of Marrakesh, where we went to meet some Berber people. The Berber people are the natives of Morocco. Morocco's got a very interesting history. And I was thinking about, on this podcast, trying to go into the history of Morocco and various sort of political things and all sorts. But then I thought, there's probably people who can do that better than me. I know a lot of you say, no, David, we come to you for your political commentary and your incisive cultural knowledge. And we just wish you'd let up with that comedy nonsense that you try and do. When you try and do jokes, it really just gets in the way. I do apologise. But I do fancy myself still as a comedian. Maybe I'm in denial. That's nowhere near Morocco. Denial? Oh. But a quick inexpert précis, the Berber people are the natives of Morocco. Our tour guide, he was a Berber person. Just to recap, that is the name of the people. When I say Berber person, I'm not sort of doing an impression of Arkwright from Open All Hours. All the way through, he kept referring to himself as a Berber person and kept mentioning the Berber people. But then, a little bit later on in the tour, he said that the word Berber, it's what the Arabs called them when the Arab invasion occurred in the 7th century, I think it was. That's what they called the natives, Berbers. And it sort of stems from barbaric. So it kind of means primitive, savage. So it's actually an insult, a derogatory term. And he says our real identity, our real name is Amazigh. We are Amazigh people. So I said, oh, I'm sorry, I've been saying Berber all this time. And I was thinking, well, the reason I've been saying Berber is because you've been saying Berber all this time. I said, I'll say Amazigh from now on. He said, oh, no, it's okay. And then he continued to refer to himself and his people as the Berber people throughout the entire journey. And then it just felt a bit strange for me to kind of say Amazigh, because then it sort of sounded like I was correcting him. Anyway, you join us on January the 8th and we talk about our guided tour, which involved some completely unplanned high drama. January the 8th. We've just returned from our guided tour. We left the hotel at just before 8:30 and we returned just before 6 o'clock. And what an epic voyage it was. It was a wonderful tour.
Basically, we've been to a women's commune that is run by Berber women, ones who have been widowed or divorced or who are older or just sort of poorer, and they all work together, mainly producing argan oil from argan nuts, which can only be produced in Morocco. So we did a bit of shopping with them. We have got some honey, which is produced by bees that only eat from the argan flower, so it's argan blossom honey.
I wonder how you control where the bees go. Like if the bees are flying towards another flower, how do you get them? How do you get them back?
You just sternly point and get them back to where they were. I guess if it's a valley that's particularly just got
maybe that's all it's got, I would imagine, rather than just these widowed women just shouting at bees.
We've got the black soap that we had at the hammam, so we can do a scrub at home, which maybe we'll record, probably we won't. But it also comes with a traditional...
I mean, maybe the
scrub
listeners
mix.
don't want that. The listeners are kind of like TLC, and they're thinking, well, I don't want no scrubs.
Lovely.
Maybe they do, I don't know.
Lovely work there, David.
Just because I'm a folk singer doesn't mean to say I don't know all the topical references. I'm up to date with all the hits. That's right, kids. TLC, you heard me.
We've got a scrub mitt to go with that as well, so that was a good bit of upselling on her part.
Oh yeah, because you went for the soap and then the other one just swooped straight in. They had a very good way of upselling, being in your face without being in your face. I think they got that just perfect. Yeah. Because they're like, and the glove, of course, and the glove, and you're like, oh yes, so you can, and she'd say, so you can scrub with the soap, and he's like, yeah, I mean, because all right.
So we'd tried a few different things. So we'd done the anti-wrinkle. You know what?
What?
I think it's bloody worked, mate. So you haven't got a lot of wrinkles, but the wrinkles that you do have are just laughter lines, so they're adorable and lovely. And earlier on today, they were a bit more pronounced, but then we've put some of this anti-wrinkle argan stuff on. They are slightly less. So that's like a... But we didn't...
Annoyingly, we didn't bloody buy any of that.
No, we didn't.
Didn't think we'd... I honestly... To be honest, I thought they were selling nice things, but I thought there was maybe, I don't mean this to sound in any way, but I thought there was maybe a bit of a pseudoscience and they were upselling on the health properties.
Yeah,
and that they didn't...
Stuff for like eczema and psoriasis and things like that.
Yes, they had all this stuff. They didn't have stuff for everything. They were like, oh yeah, and this tea, if you get this tea, it helps with diabetes. This one's for menopause. This one's for constipation. This one's for...
all sorts. Yeah, there was a prostate one.
There was a prostate one. That was an interesting way of taking tea. You gave it a smell. A little smell of this one, you there, Lee?
We've got like a peanut cashew blend nut paste. And
We're going to have to try and find... We're going to have to find an organ dealer.
Yeah.
I didn't realise. I thought they were upselling. We thought we were doing a good thing. We thought, yeah, some of this will be nice, some of this will be useful, but we're also helping them out. Little did I know that we were like poo-pooing the elixir.
Yeah.
And, well, the reason we were poo-pooing is all that constipation-relieving tea that we sampled. Now you've got me... I didn't even think about having wrinkles. Now she's made me think about them and they've gone. The irony is it's going to give me more wrinkles because I'm going to be stressing about not having the wrinkle solution. So, weirdly, the wrinkle solution helped my wrinkles, but it's going to give me more in the long run. Bloody hell. I didn't get a chance to put any on me long run. Because that's what I call it, by the way. It's a bit of a euphemism. And... that is quite wrinkly, actually. But I'll tell you someone, Ellie, who could have done with the anti-wrinkle cream was our poor tour guide, Abdel. We were about 15 minutes away from where we were going to stop and eat. Where were we meant to be going?
We were heading to a little village in one of the 5 valleys that we're visiting, and we were due to go and eat with a Berber family who were going to create a traditional meal for us.
And about 10 minutes away from there, we reached a stream, a ford.
So it was a ford, but because of the recent rains, it was quite flooded, and also a lot of gravelly stones had been washed across the road. So it did look, I was a bit concerned as we were approaching it, it looked like it might be a bit of a problem.
And we were in a van, weren't we?
Yeah, in a minibus kind of van.
So he was quite jovial. He said, oh yeah, I'm just going to slowly go over this. We soon realised, and I think he realised, that we were going so slow that we were now not moving. And he tried to keep up the jovial, but then he realised that we weren't going to be moving. And after about 7 or 8 attempts, the mood changed a bit.
Yeah, he just went, oh shit.
Well, we assume he did that. He didn't say that in English. We don't know what the Berber is for shit. If we'd have got some more of that, if we'd have drank more of that herbal tea, the constipation relieving herbal tea, we might have heard. Things got very dramatic. He attempted, we got people over to help us, and I think what you're going to hear is you're going to hear about what happened 15 minutes onwards. We were still sat in the van. He refused to let us get out. He said, no, please, please. And he was trying to make sure that we felt comfortable while he essentially got out, took his shoes off, and was wading in this icy cold water. It was about 0 degrees at this point, so he's wading in this ice cold water, and he keeps apologising to us, and I'm sorry about this, I'm sorry, and we're trying to say, no, please, it's absolutely fine. Would it help if we get out? And he didn't want us to get out because he didn't want us to be in any discomfort, and I really wanted to get out. I was desperate to wade in and to do some pushing, but he wouldn't have it. So what you're going to hear is what happened, and hopefully you'll be able to follow this. We're going to have to do a lot of editing because it went on for quite a while, but you're going to hear hopefully a bit of action-packed highlights package of the drama. We should also say that we were joined, it was me and Ellie.
It said it would be a small tour group.
And it was a small tour group because we were only joined by one other person from the Netherlands, Tanya. Her name, translated, her surname is House in a Field.
Yes.
She was there. So I know, please do not follow these people on social media. Do not track them down. Make a pilgrimage. I know we have some very loyal The David Eagle podcast listeners who make pilgrimages. But remember, these are real people. They're not just characters. Okay. So we were joined by her. So let's join now the drama.
So Tanya's suggesting using bits of tree that pushes planks. So they're getting some bigger stones to put by the wheels. The trouble is with the gravel, it just keeps sort of digging further and further. The man from the other car's coming over to take a look.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting because obviously I don't care about getting wet, so I would happily get out, give this thing a push, and we might be able to do it. But at the moment, he's maybe out of professionalism, concern, and gallantry. They don't want me getting out of the car, but I think that'll be fine. We're getting on for about 10 minutes now, since we've been trapped in the fold, and I don't think we've moved
an inch.
Juge, leave there.
don't know if they're Googling how to get out of a Ford.
Meanwhile, our Dutch person is not helping us cross the dike. We've now got our guide, Abdel, and
We have 2 men from the motorbike, 2 men
two
from
complete
the car.
strangers. So 4 people.
The 2 men from the new car are just kind of looking and pointing and giving suggestions.
Okay, and the other 2
One of the
who...
motorcyclists is the one who's been turning the engine over and giving it a go. The other motorcyclist is having a cigarette. He's now got 4 pushing.
Okay, so 4 people pushing. Oh,
Trying to push us
we're
backwards.
moving backwards, so we're going backwards.
We don't know that we are.
Do you know, I felt like we were moving there.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely moving. I mean, that's why we should be getting out, because it'd be lighter.
Yeah. If we get out...
Do you want us to get out? We can...
If we get out, it's less weight. If we get out, it's less weight. It's not as heavy. He doesn't want to get out. Go on, let us out. But I can guide you across the water. It's just that our door is right over the wet bit.
Yeah, it's all right. I can...
Try opening it.
Are you sure you don't want us to get out? Are we getting out?
Okay, if you step
Okay.
ahead and to the right, ahead to the right, yes.
Aha!
Right.
There we go. So we finally... Oh, outside. Okay, so the engine is starting. Ellie has disappeared now, I think, to take photos of the incident. So I can only commentate on what I can hear, which, to be honest, is probably exactly the same as what you can glean. So, I think we moved back maybe a fraction. But the trouble is, we don't want to go back. We only want to go back so we can get enough purchase to go forward. Okay, we're trying again. People, I think, are getting behind the van this time. Oh, he's getting low on the ground. He's trying to give it a push. Oh, and I've just heard a snapping noise. I don't know what that was. Oh, I mean, of course, the danger is that if the van's in the water too long, maybe the engine won't run. Oh, okay, what's happening, Ellie? We'll get a sight person rather than me, as every time I hear the engine going, the engine's on.
So somebody's just jumped on the back and is bouncing up and down to try and get it a bit heavier. It's basically the front wheels are free, the back wheels are churning up the stones. They've tried with a couple of branches. At one point there were loads of stones built up in front of the wheel that we can see. I don't know if they pushed from behind to try and go forward, if it would work.
Oh, they're not doing that at the moment.
They've been trying to go backwards.
They're trying to push backwards, right.
One of the car guys has just been sat on the back and is jumping up and down. He's now opened the boot, so this is intriguing. Okay.
What's happening?
Motorcycle Man 2 is getting on the back of Motorcycle Man 1.
He's getting on his back?
Yes, to go across the water so that he can... I think they want more weight in the back, maybe. I mean, we could have gone back into the cup.
Wow.
He's got him across the wettest part. So they've opened the boot. Our driver, car guy 1, motorcycle guy 2, are sitting in the boot. Our driver's come out. He's having a look. They're looking at what the situation is. They've put some big stones in front of the wheel.
So it does look like there is method to their madness. They're not just like making it up and going, I get in the boot now.
So they've just found one big stone and put that behind. So I think
that's doing something there.
That's churning up a lot of water. The trouble is it might get in the engine. So I think they're putting more weight in the boot. They're trying to have the back heavier because the back's too light to get over the stones.
It is sounding healthier. That sounds like it's moving.
A tiny bit, but it's still quite like the wheel is like a third underwater. They're putting the big stone in front of the wheel so that there's hopefully something for it to go over rather than churning up all the gravel. Motorcycle guys going back into the driver's seat. I wonder if they pushed it from the back, if it would help it go forward. The trouble is, they're all likely to fall forward into the water as they do it. Okay, the boot's coming down, nobody's now sat in the boot. So I think the trouble is, because it's churned up, there's too much stone in front of the wheel for it to go over. So they're now trying to just carve some away. But the trouble is, the water is bringing more stones along. There's a lot of problem solving going on. Motorcycle guy 1 is valiantly continuing. He's finding bigger rocks that he's now putting behind the wheels. There's another car coming towards us from the front of our van.
Oh my goodness, some more.
So there might be some additional...
Some new characters.
Here comes another car.
A new character enters the scene.
Car number 3 is coming from our left.
So is he going to get involved in this?
Stopped. Yeah, third guy's getting up. Oh, and a fourth. Oh my gosh. We've got an army of men. Okay. Oh. All the guys from car two are pushing. Trouble is, each time they're doing this, I think it's digging the front wheels in a bit further as well. But the front wheels do not have the same amount of river running through and across them. Okay, so old man with a cane has brought a massive bit of tree and is suggesting that. Oh, it's getting there, it's getting there, it's getting there, it's getting there. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, yes. Wait. Oh, it's got out. And now, as long as okay, there's.
Okay, try and keep your composure.
Okay.
Ellie, and commentate here.
It's very difficult.
As if you were, a war correspondent when you're going, oh, it's loud. You have to keep commentating. What's going on?
Okay, so it's got further out, so the wheel is no longer in the wettest part of the thing.
I did just hear the sound of metal.
The wheel has gone backwards.
Oh. We have moved in the last 30 seconds. A mass amount of change has occurred.
And you know what? I think it's because the old man pushed, maybe.
The new character who came in 25 minutes into this whole thing.
So the motorcycle guy, oh no, back wheels are stuck a bit again. I think they just need to go all the way up, if they can go all the way up. Okay, so they're telling him to turn his wheels. He's turning backwards, he's moving backwards. Our driver is pushing them. I mean, he's quite near to the edge of the water. So he's now signalling like turn the wheels this way, turn the wheels that way, and all the other men are also helping. Don't get stuck again, don't
my goodness, we surged forwards.
It's free.
It's free. Oh! There we go. Oh, we've...
adventure.
Yes.
I cannot feel my legs. I cannot feel
you need to
No, you're quite, yes.
Okay, guys.
It's at this point that we realised we've taken a wrong turning and we didn't want to be this way after all. Okay, thank you, everyone. We did offer to help, but he wouldn't let us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You are amazing.
I cannot feel my legs.
No, I'm not.
January the 9th. So 5 times a day there is the call to prayer, and the Imam will stand on the minaret. Will he stand on the minaret? In the minaret rather than on the minaret. Apart from one Imam who is a former stuntman, he'll stand on the minaret. But the rest of them will stand in the minaret. There'll be a microphone. I'm assuming in the old days they just have to shout it. And they'll do their call to prayer. And what I find interesting is there seems to be a lot of difference in styles. There's so many mosques. So you'll hear, let's say, 2 or 3 imams. I'm not sure what the plural of imam is, but... Imams. Ellie is at the other side of the room. I don't know why. I've decided to not sit next to her to do this bit. I'm pacing around. I feel like I have a lot more ideas when I'm pacing around. And the problem is it's very difficult to do that on stage doing stand-up. Just starting like... I suppose some comedians do, don't they? Pace the stage. Give me some examples of pacing comedians. Obviously, there's Hale and Pace.
Who's the sweaty one? Lee Evans.
The sweaty one? Oh, yeah.
He was all over the place. When we went to see Miles, he was walking around the stage doing his thing.
Miles Jubb paces.
He did walk around a little bit, yeah.
That surprises me because his delivery is very still and assured.
Yeah.
He doesn't sound like a pacer.
No.
See, I'll give you some examples of people I think. I think McIntyre is a pacer.
Yeah, I think he walks around.
I'd say Ross Noble is a pacer.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And Russell Howard is a pacer.
I don't know that I've seen enough of his stand-up to know, but the last James Acaster, he was walking around a lot.
James Acaster was pacing.
Yeah.
I don't have him down as a pacer. Yeah. Okay, this is the problem, I think. I think I'd be a lot better. Well, I mean, this is the only thing holding me back, I think. We'll get back to the imams. Don't you worry. I'm back, by the way, pacing again now. So if you're thinking, how did it when you start sitting down? Was it that you included Ellie that things started drying up? I don't think so. I don't think we should blame Ellie. I think it was the fact that I wasn't pacing, but I'm back pacing again now. If Ellie wants to get up and pace with me, then maybe we should do this more often. We'll just pace around. I think I'd be a lot better at stand-up if I could see what the other comedians were doing, because I think I would then mirror their successful body language, perhaps. But then again, I suppose there are a lot of unsuccessful sighted comedians, so maybe not. So this is what I was saying. There were lots of different styles. I have no idea about Imam protocol. Like, I don't know. Presumably there's training involved, like there is to be a priest or a vicar, so presumably they train. Do they do vocal train? Like, do they do call to prayer exercises? Is that part of it? Do they encourage having a distinct style? So they say, you need to set yourself apart as an imam. You can't just copy what the imam in the other mosque is doing. You know, there will be other imams. You'll be able to hear up there. So if he hears someone going, he goes, oh yeah, that sounds good to me. I don't want to sound too flippant about this. I genuinely don't know. I am intrigued. And maybe we could try and find out. I'd love to have an interview with an imam. I think there are lots of different styles because they're not doing the same thing. Now, bearing in mind, we can sometimes hear 3 different imams and they're all doing different things. So I think we've managed to get a recording so far of one of the imams. I'm going to try and get some others so we can compare and contrast and we can have a little imam off. So there was one who was, I'd say, the one we managed to get was quite simple. I'll say simple, I mean, I'm not casting aspersions here on his intelligence. I mean, what he was doing was very simple. It was just, I feel reluctant to do impressions of the imam, partly because it seems a bit disrespectful, and even though it comes from a good place, I'm just inquisitive, I am recording this in the hotel, and there'll be people able to hear me if I start doing impressions of the imam, and that might sound a bit disrespectful. So, but he was doing a kind of more, well, I'll be able to play it for you now. Say something a little more monotonal, and there wasn't really much change. But there's been other ones. There was one of my favourites. We've heard quite a few. He started off quite low, and then he would rise. He'd do the same phrase over and over again, but each time he'd rise up by a semitone. And he was getting higher and higher, and it was getting louder and louder as he went on. I don't know if it was him looking down, and he was looking and he was saying, no bugger's coming to me mosque here. And he was getting more and more angry or urgent or desperate. They all seemed to last about 2 or 3 minutes. So is that another thing? Is each call to prayer has to be a certain length of time? Or can they improvise with the length of time? Is it like a pop song? 3.5 minutes, that's the perfect length for an imam. Anyway, he was going up and up in volume and in pitch. Key changes. He was doing key changes. This was the West life of the imam world. Well, this is East life, I suppose. So he was doing key changes. It was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. I do find myself entranced by it. There was another man who was a lot more rhythmic. Because I think the guy who was doing the key changes, there wasn't much rhythm behind it. There was another guy, he seemed a lot more rhythmic. What's Akbar, Ellie? Because it was like, Akbar.
I don't know, I can have a look.
Yeah, something like Akbar or something. Something like that he was doing. It was very rhythmic. It got me thinking, like, is he allowed if he wanted to? Like, is he allowed to, like, hit the microphone to the beat?
Greatest.
Oh, greatest.
Yes, because it's God is the greatest.
So I think he was going Allah Akbar, so he was going God is the greatest. So he was going Allah Akbar. But if he wanted to, because it was very rhythmic, would he be allowed to just to hit the microphone to the beat? Or do a little bum, bum, bum in between the two? Would that be seen as disrespectful? Or would people go, this is absolutely brilliant? Do imams improvise? Does he know what he's going to do? I think of it as when I went to church and each priest would do a different order of service. For instance, we had a substitute priest. He would just go, through him, with him, in the unity of the Holy Spirit, all glory and honour are yours, Almighty Father, forever and ever. Amen. That's what the substitute priest did, and that's what other priests did. But our resident priest, he would not do that. He'd sing it, and he'd go, through him, in him, with him, in the unity of the Holy Spirit, all glory and honour is yours, Almighty Father, forever and ever. He'd do a little ever. And then the Amen, rather than just going Amen, he would slide up. He'd go, Amen. He'd really, and there'd be quite a lot of vibrato at the end of the thing, and he'd do a glissando up. Very good. So he would do that, whereas some priests wouldn't. So there's obviously no rule that you have to sing or you have to do it like that. So that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if the imams can do that. How far are they allowed to push the form? Could he do rhythms? If he wanted to play an instrument, is he allowed to play an instrument, the imam? Could the imam do some rapping to kind of get the kids involved? All of that. Is the imam allowed to yodel? I've absolutely no idea. just in case you weren't sure of that. Are they allowed to sell CDs that are really sort of funky? Imam has got a new album out. Wham Bam, thank you, Imam. Are they learning these from a book? Is there like some really sort of popular classics? Do new ones get added? And maybe every year at the meeting of the Imams, they're having a chat about it, and people are going, "Oh, have you heard that new one? That's a real foot tapper. Got to be careful, actually, especially when it's icy." There I am in the minaret and I'm tapping my feet. I nearly bloody skidded down the thing the other day. Is there like a meeting and they sort of share songs with each other? I've just come up with this one. Like, sometimes I wonder that with football chants. How do football chants get disseminated? There's got to be someone who's brave to start singing a song and just hoping that everybody else is going to take it on. And it might not. There must be so many that just don't catch on. Oh, hang on, Ellie's back. By the way, I should point out, I've been pacing around. Ellie's been somewhere. Just to prove that I've been pacing around, I just tripped over a chair.
Did I tell you about the time that I started a football chant during the Olympics?
What?
So we got some free, my friend Charlie and I, Charlie got some free tickets to the Olympic football matches in Newcastle. Charlie had these tickets and he was like, "Do you want to go?" And I said, "Sure, that'd be lovely." So we went to Switzerland and Mexico, and then it was Sweden and Gabon or something. Gabon, the Central African country, Gabon. Essentially, they only had like 4 supporters in St James's Park, and we felt quite bad for them because obviously it's quite a long way. We thought, they needed a bit of a thing, so we were like...
So did you do, the first thing I'm thinking is, it's not particularly PC in some ways, but did you do Gary Glitter? Gabon, 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 Gabon. Yeah.
We did, and with a... at the end.
Okay.
So and it took off and it went around.
You could do that. You don't know she's doing to do that, my friends.
And that took off.
Didn't know you were so flexible. Anyway.
That took off and went around the stadium.
It went around the stadium?
Yeah.
But you said they only had 4 supporters.
So they only had 4 supporters, but other people like us had seen, because loads of British people got tickets.
Ah, right.
But it's a very long way to travel from Gabon. But it started with me and Charlie.
Because you could have done Tender by Blair. But I don't think it would have the same thing, the Gabon, 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 you can do it.
Yeah, I think that would have been a bit too slow for the situation. They needed to keep pumping, and unfortunately, Gary Glitter came to mind.
Yeah, what other commands could you have had? Oh, a little less conversation, a little more action, please. Oh yeah, we're still recording. Afterwards, now I've had a taste of your flexibility. So you could have had Gabon, 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 Gabon. But again, I don't think that's as...
There were Mexican waves going around the whole stadium. There were quite a lot of Mexicans, actually, with the flags. And the Swedes were there.
Why were the Mexicans there? I'm going to say that. I don't mind them being there.
It's either Mexico, Sweden.
What are they bloody doing there?
Either Mexico, Sweden, or Mexico, Switzerland, and then Gabon were playing whichever team. I've got the programme. We could check for.
The checks were in there as well. My goodness. Oh. January the 10th. Some folks like plain tea, others like tea herbally, but this is the feature that reviews herbal tea verbally. We'll give it a smell, we'll give it a drink, and then we will tell you what we think. Tea is the subject on which we will speak in our exciting feature, Herbal Tea of the Week. Describe our scene, Ellie.
Well, at the moment we are in part of the Medina. We're in a little square. Opposite us is a big keyhole arch door that you could ride your camels through if you wanted. A man's just ridden his motorcycle through instead.
Yes, we haven't seen any camels.
No.
So I don't think anyone rides camels through it anymore, but that was its original design.
It was the original design. There is a ceramics shop opposite us. There are some selling textiles and things, and we're just about to go around the corner to the Moroccan Tea House restaurant.
To sample some teas and pit some Moroccan teas against each other.
And the tea room that we're going to is 1112. It is the first Moroccan tea house offering 12 regional teas of Morocco.
I don't know where the 11 bit comes from, though.
Well, that's the name of it. Must be the address. 1112. It's
111.
It literally says
it's
above
because the
door,
person who
1112.
used to run this tea house, he used to be a mobile DJ. You see.
Okay, so we're going to step
1122.
through. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Just for two, please. Thank you. Oh, lovely. Thank you.
So that's wonderful. Imam, we'll go back to that again, don't you worry, listeners. A man has come up to us who works here, and he has recommended that we maybe pit 3 teas against each other. One from the north, one from the south, and one from the centre. So that is what we've done. So there's a kind of a regional competition going on here.
Yes, and it's very grand, the surroundings. So we're in the centre of a sort of riad space. Next to us is a massive palm tree and a banana palm, and on the other side we've got orange trees. There are arches around. The floor is a tiled sort of blue-green and almost coppery type, but there's also sort of magnificent carved arches, a bit like the ones that we've seen around mosques and things. So it's a very grand, impressive building, and I will take some photos.
Wonderful. And when you say carved arches, we are not referring to stone monuments of people from the BBC Radio 4 soap. Just in case that's what you were thinking there, listeners. I can also hear Ellie.
Yeah.
I can hear birds. Mm-hmm. So can you see birds around?
Can't at the moment, but they might be up in the tree.
Hello.
I'm getting the pour from a height.
Oh yes, there's a lot of high pouring that goes on in Morocco. And apparently that's so you get the smells, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
Not being able to see, it's probably a little more dangerous for me to pour from a
Yeah,
height.
you probably shouldn't. So at the moment, David, he's pouring them back into the teapot, so it also mixes it.
yes.
Yeah.
And it makes a better sound as well, pouring from a height.
Lovely, thank you.
Enjoy.
Where are we going first? We start at the top, the north.
The north. Fez Meknes, so that's in Seferin Square. Fassi Craftsman's favourite tea is a blend of verbena, geranium, marjoram, absinthe, sage and 4 mint varieties, brewed separately and served in a tall glass. So this is the highest level of sweetness we're going to have. So have a sniff.
Okay, here we go. We'll give it a smell. Oh, my goodness. What drama?
So you know you said there were birds. 2 of them were just fighting each other and actually flew into you.
I have just been attacked by a bird.
No, 2 birds.
2 birds.
And annoyingly, I wasn't filming it.
But you got the audio there of me being hit in the face. I got a little bit of claw on the head there, but just a tiny bit, not enough for it to... My goodness. What drama. And that was just as I was about to
have a sniff.
lift the teacup to give it a smell, and a bird has flown. Maybe a bird from the north, perhaps, saying, you be careful what you say.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm giving it a smell. It smells very minty to me.
Well, it is 4 types of mint.
It does say that. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting 3 types of mint. I'm not sure if I can get the 4th one. It's a delightful smell.
Okay, what are you giving it out of 10
It's
for
mint.
smell?
It's just mint personified.
Okay.
Oh, I'm giving that an 8.
Oh, strong. Okay,
yeah,
I
it
need
is
it, please.
strong. It's brilliant.
We've only got
Oh,
one
sorry,
cup
we've only
between
got
us.
one cup,
yeah.
so, and he's going for it.
Oh yeah, it has got a good smell. I think I'm getting the geranium as well.
Oh.
Now what's interesting is I'm not a fan of geranium.
Oh.
Mum used to have geranium plants at home and they made me feel physically sick. So I'm
Okay.
not as keen, but
Okay.
it's not unpleasant. I'm going to give it a 7.
A 7 is still a very
Yeah,
high
it's still-
score.
it's still
a very
strong.
high score. 15 in total
Okay.
for smell, but now we must taste. Here we go. Oh, I'm getting a sweetness is the first thing.
Ooh.
I'm getting the mintiness, but then there's something else that's cutting through. A slight bitterness. Maybe that's the geranium just cutting through there.
I think one of the birds...
Oh, back to the birds, everybody.
Yeah, I think one of them is just like trying to rip the throat out of the other one.
Just-
We're doing a little video.
We're doing a video
Unless it's a really bad mating ritual. One has pinned the other on the ground and is pecking at its neck.
Try and intervene, Ellie. We need
I
to...
can't intervene. I'm like a nature photographer. Also, they can fly away and just carry on doing it.
Okay.
So I think this like bitter taste might be the absinthe. So
Okay, I really like that taste, but...
there is just another bird on the banana leaf.
Okay, we're back to the birds again, everybody. I do apologise to people. This is meant to
I
be
think that's the one
serious
that's-
tea
it is,
journalism
but I
here.
think that's the one that's commentating. on the other two.
Commentating?
So
It
the
does
two-
sound like there's a bird
Yeah,
just sort of there.
There's two that are fighting, and then the other one is just sort of watching. So now they're pecking each. One's got the other one's claw in its beak.
Does it look like one's coming out on top
Oh
here?
yeah. One's definitely better than the other.
We've got to be able to do something. This is...
Well, we could try and
we're
walk
literally
towards it,
seeing a bird
Do you want me
killing
to
another
walk
bird
towards
here.
it?
Yeah, walk towards it. Do something. This is your chance, Ellie.
Don't
Okay,
think I
Ellie
can.
is intervening. Ellie,
He
commentate
wants-
as you go.
I'm walking towards it. They've flown apart. They've now flown where I was
Ooh.
sitting, and they're now fighting elsewhere.
Okay, so we can't stop it.
And the commentator bird is back in action.
So the commentator bird has flown away with it. So there is one that's just documenting
Okay.
it.
I think I've got. I mean, it's hard to know where we're starting, and
Yeah, I know. Sometimes that can be really difficult. It can be difficult for the first
can
one because you
start
don't want to
too
go
high.
too high. For that reason, and maybe that's unfair, I don't know, I'm giving it a 6. I really
Okay.
like it though. I don't want you to think I don't like it. It's above a 5. Oh, well, you know what a 6 is,
I
everybody.
was going to give it a 7.
Well, there you go. That
So
sort of
there we go.
balances it out.
It does.
You give it a 7 for smell, I give it an 8 for smell. You gave it a 7 for taste, I give it a 6. Which means, in smell, it's a total of 13 points. Add that to the 15, that's 28. All right, steady on, Rachel Riley.
Okay, so the next one, Beni Melal.
Is this the south or the middle?
In the Middle Atlas Mountains, tea is infused with rosemary and wild thyme, known for their stimulating properties.
Ooh.
This tea is brewed and served in a pot, as it indeed has been. Okay, so I'm going to sniff it first.
Don't want to be too stimulated, Ellie. Unfortunately,
Oh, that's got-
we've just checked out of our room
That's
for
got
the hotel.
quite the woody smell to
Oh.
it. Have a little sniff.
Okay, haven't smelled woody for a while, but those were the days. She's already stimulated. She's remembered woody. Now that's got a very spicy smell, I think. But when I say spicy, not sweet spices. That's
No.
like your standard, like,
Roast dinner.
well, yeah, that kind of thing. Oh, it is rosemary and thyme, though, is it
Yeah.
not? Yeah. Okay. So we give it a smell.
Bird wars seem to have chilled.
Yeah, I really like that. Okay.
I mean, it's not what I expect in a...
In a tea.
In a
I
tea.
really like it. It's
I'm
got
definitely
a
getting the
lovely-
rosemary more than the thyme, I think. Okay, so what are you giving it for a
I
smell?
was going to give it a 7, but then I suddenly thought, do I like that less than the mint? And I don't think I do, so I'm going to go for 8.
8. Okay, I'm going for a 7 again.
Okay,
Because it's
consistency across the board.
This is the middle sweetness level, because they mix
Okay.
the sugar in
Now, you
advance.
could argue we're doing this in the wrong order, listeners. We should maybe
Maybe.
start with the least sweet, but
But
there
they've
we
also
go.
said don't mess for a traditional
We are,
experience. Don't
we
mess
are
with
doing
the
it
sugar level.
in the reverse order to Lou Bega, of course, who says, I like Pamela, Sandra, Tanya and Rita, and as you continue, you know they're getting sweeter. But that's not the case for our teas. Ellie, did you taste yet?
I did taste.
Okay. That is very unexpected.
Yeah.
So much sweeter than I thought.
Given the smell of it.
What the heck? There's so... I don't even know how to describe that. There's just so much going on. It's sweet and minty, but then it's got these more astringent, bitter, savoury spices.
A bit of a woodiness from the rosemary, but it's not unpleasantly so. It
No.
just sort of cuts through the sweetness. Do I prefer it to the other one, though?
I know what I'm giving it.
Okay, I know what I'm giving it.
Okay, we'll do it after 3 then. 1, 2, 3, 6. Ooh!
Oh, so you've got the same. You've given it same as your previous.
Yeah. But I
But you
think
don't like sweet teas.
it's the sweetness, but then it's the other stuff that suddenly pokes out of it. It's not that I don't like it. We've got to say that a 6 is a good score.
Oh, yes.
Anything above 5, I'm liking it. It's just if we go too high, then there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
28 in total for the Northern tea. And the
Yes.
Midlands tea gives us a grand total of...
29.
Okay.
Susmasa,
Okay.
which is gunpowder tea with saffron. And this is from the Talouine region, sorry if I say it wrong, and it's from the Sahara. So this one has definitely got, well, there's a bit of saffron just floating in the cup.
From the Talouine region. But for the people, will it be a case of happy Talouine? Let's find out as we give this tea a taste. A smell, sorry. Oh, the listeners will be like, hang on, let's say, hold your horses,
Don't you
David.
dare.
Hold your camels. Here we go. What the heck? This is very different indeed. There's no mintiness going on. This is a green tea?
It's a green tea.
Yeah, and it's just a classic, refreshing green tea smell with a bit of saffron. Oh, I like that. Okay, I know what I'm giving it for smell.
Yes.
Do you know?
Yes.
Let's do this after 3. 1, 2, 3, 8. Ooh. Ooh.
Because
I'm uniform here with the smell, but Ellie's not so sure. Talk to me, Ellie.
So it's just that there's not quite as much going on, although I do like the smell of saffron. And I am intrigued to try it. This is a level 2 sweetness, but there just doesn't seem, there's not as much bouncing around my nose as the previous 2, so it's not as interesting a smell, I would say.
Yeah, and
but
I'm
will
not,
it make up for it in taste?
As you know, I'm not such a fan of sweetness teas. To bastardise eternal and its sweetness is its weakness.
Oh, that's Michelle Gale.
Michelle Gale. Okay, sorry, listeners. Sorry, I'm letting standard slip here. I'm on holiday, in fairness, so we're just doing this as an extra bonus. Okay, here we go. We're giving it a taste. What the heck? What the? I wouldn't say it's less sweet.
Oh no, that's quite sweet, but
That
it's
is
a level
sweet.
2 sweetness, but you don't normally ever have green tea with sugar.
I don't mind that, but... Ooh. Okay, I know what I'm giving it.
I mean, we have got the slight bitterness of tannin that you get with a green tea.
Yeah, there's the bitterness of the tannin, but then the sweetness comes through.
And I'm not sure that they necessarily complement each other, but I do like the taste of saffron.
Oh, I'll tell you what I'm not a fan of. It's very bitty.
Yes, there are some bits at the
There's
end.
bits, and I'm not a fan of those bits.
Okay.
Okay, I've got a score. Have you got a
Got a
score?
score?
Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 5.
Oh.
It gets the least for me. It got the least for smell for Ellie. I don't think we've got a winner on our hands there, so it's not
26.
Happy Halloween. 26 in total, which means the winner in the Midlands, the centre, is, with 29 points, is Ellie.
Benny Malau.
Benny Malau.
The wild thyme and rosemary.
And what a wild time they'll be having in Benny Malau as they hear that the David Eagle podcast has anointed Benny Malau, the David Eagle podcast, Morocco Herbal Tea of the Week. And I say of the week. It's not like we're coming back to Morocco anytime soon. And the birds have stopped their fighting.
And actually, I don't know if you've noticed, but they did stop their fighting pretty much after I went up and sternly looked at them, and then they split apart. I mean, it might be that one's already dead.
Ah, that would be a good reason for stopping. We got talking to someone who from England who was wondering what we were doing and thought we were doing some kind of... He could tell that we were recording, essentially. Yeah. I thought we were being quite discreet, but he could hear us. He
said, you've got the voice for it. You do put on your radio voice.
So we had a lovely chat with him, and then he started reviewing the teas as well. I don't think we should put him on necessarily because we didn't ask for permission. He might be listening to this now going, oh,
they've cut me out.
They've cut me off. I wanted to be...
Herbal Tea of the Week, January the 11th.
We have returned from Morocco, and I'm sure a lot of you have been thinking, we've really enjoyed hearing about your travels and the culture. But what we really want now, David, is to be back in the kitchen of your house in Sheffield, join you as you're doing the dishes, and just listen to you rambling about nothing in particular. Well, as luck would have it, my friends, that is exactly where we are, and no doubt exactly what I'm about to do. I was thinking yesterday when we were doing the herbal tea from Marrakesh, and I mentioned the song Mambo No. 5 by Lou Bega, and it got me thinking about what it must have been like for Angela, who was mentioned, of course, in the song near the start. And what it must have been like for her the first time she heard that song. And I just imagine her maybe listening to the radio, and suddenly she hears the DJ say, and now we have a song from Lou Bega. She smiles to herself. She remembers that night that she shared with Lou Bega. Oh, what a night. She remembers that time when she went to see Lou in a concert. I've no idea if he used to sing before he released Mambo No. 5. I don't really know any other songs by Lou Bega, so I suppose a one-hit wonder, really. And actually, she thinks of him as a one-hit wonder in a different sense of the word, because they only spent one night together. But my goodness, was it a wonder. And she smiles to herself as she hears the voice of Lou singing about going to the liquor store. And then she thinks about, oh, liquor indeed. Oh, my goodness. She thinks, she remembers certain things that occurred between them. And, well, between them indeed. Her feelings about Lou are a bit mixed because she loved that night with him, but she always hoped that there'd be more. But she knew she could never be the one. She always hoped that there would be more between them and that she could be his special one. But she knew that wasn't the case. She knew that he was a notorious womanizer. And it was only going to get worse, surely, now he's releasing Mambo No. 5. She can't believe she managed to miss Mambo No. 1, 2, 3 and 4. She had absolutely no idea. She'd have to go through the series and hear the prequels. You know, he's at the liquor store here buying some gin and juice. But as he says in the song, he didn't want to end up in a beer bust like he did the previous weekend. Well, presumably that was in Mambo No. 4. She's thinking about all of this, but her main preoccupation is remembering that night that she shared with Lou. And then all of a sudden she hears, and she can't believe it, she hears, "I like Angela." Oh my goodness. She pauses it. She has to pause the radio because she's not listening. She's shrieking. She's dancing around the kitchen. She's been mentioned in the song. And not only has she been mentioned, but she, out of all the women that he has been with, and she knows he's been with lots of women, she suddenly hears her name, "I like Angela," and there it is. It's a call out to her. He can't get in touch with her. They didn't swap numbers. He knows that this is the only way he can get in touch with her. How else is he going to get in touch with her? Through the medium of music, through a song. It'll be broadcast on the radio. Surely, thinks Lou, surely she's going to hear this. I can get in touch with your record label. We can get back in touch. I'm sure there'll be other people claiming to be me. Other people claiming to be Angela, but I know as soon as Lou hears my voice and we reminisce, it'll all come flooding back. Anyway, she thinks, I'll listen to the rest of the song. I want to know what else he says about me. So she rewinds it, but I want to hear that bit again where he says he likes me. Oh, she's all giddy. And she listens to hear how the song develops and what he says about her. And she hears, "I like Angela, Pamela, Sandra and Rita." And her heart falls. Her heart sinks. She stops the playback. Oh, so he's just listing women, is he? That's all he's doing, is it? I'm not special at all. I like Angela, Pamela, Tanya and Rita. She can't believe this. But then she tries to cheer herself up with the thought, look, I've let my mind get carried away with me. Of course I was never going to reunite with Lou Bega, and I know that Lou Bega has been with many women. But of all the women he's been with, he put me first. I was the first woman on his list. Now that's got to mean something. I am number one. That's what it means. It means I'm number one. Of all the women he's been with, he's put me first. I like Angela. And then you've got these also-rans. Pamela, Tanya. Well, fair play to Pamela. Silver medal for you. Tanya, bronze. Not bad. Rita, she's just feeling a bit down. Oh, so I'm just an also-ran, am I? At least I'm not Pamela, Tanya or Rita. They must be really jealous of me. So she takes stock. So she puts the radio back on. I like Angela, Pamela, Tanya and Rita. And then she hears, and as I continue, you know they're getting sweeter. What the hell? She pauses the radio again. I'm not his number one. I am bottom of the pile. And she thinks how she mocked Rita. Imagine Rita, the also-ran. And now it turns out that she is the also-ran. And Rita is probably thinking, well, at least I'm not Angela. Look, come on. Come on, Angela, pull yourself together. And you know that of all the women that Lou must go with, you were probably one of the oldest. You can't compete with all of these younger women. It's still pretty impressive. He's literally named 4 women, and you were 4th on the list. So yes, okay, you're the 4th sweetest. Well, that's not bad, is it? That's not bad. God knows how many women, and you are the 4th sweetest on the list. And that makes her feel a bit better. So she puts the radio back on, and she listens. Sure enough, he hasn't listed any more women. Her assertion was correct. He's not mentioning any more women. Brilliant. I'll take that. So she's pretty happy. And then he's banging on about a trumpet or something. And that brings back some memories for her as well. But of course, that all changes when he starts listing women again. And she can't believe it. Her heart sinks with every other woman mentioned. Erica, Monica, Tina, a little bit of Rita. Oh, bloody hell, Rita's been mentioned twice. A little bit of Sandra in the sun, a little bit of Mary, all night long. All night long. I'm sorry if 4 hours non-stop wasn't enough for you, Lou. 4 hours. I did all sorts with you. Yeah, I've never brought licorice into the bedroom before, but my goodness. And then more and more women. She turns off the radio in absolute disgust. Emotions-wise, it's all gone full circle for Angela. And that reminded her of that night that they spent again. She went full circle that night as well. My goodness, she's never done that before. 4 hours, going round and round. She does think about selling her story to the tabloids. I was Angela from the song Mambo No. 5 by Lou Bega. But she doesn't do that. She doesn't want to be like Sandra in the sun.
January the 12th.
Oh, okay, I've just I've just been trying to write the podcast description for the first week, ready to release it, because the first podcast goes out on January the 15th. As I said before, having only read Braille, and I haven't read Braille for a while, it means I can't spell certain things because I've not seen them written down. And I always forget how to spell massage, so I just typed how I thought you spelled massage into Google, just to make sure. That's often how I just do a spell check, essentially, just Google the word, and then it'll come up with, did you mean? But I typed in the word massage, and the first thing it brought up was local results, local massage places. And the first one, I'm quite surprised, is the one that comes up first in Google results, is for Paradise Studio. And it advertises that it does massage and adult entertainment. So I think we all know what type of place this is. I don't think there's any need to be getting self-conscious about having your backside massaged there. So it's clear what they provide. I imagine you could probably avail yourself of all sorts of services. And just in case you're in any doubt, they've positioned their venue in the most perfectly named street. I don't know if this is deliberate or not. You can't. You mean, Julie. So the street that this adult entertainment place is in, the street that it's situated on is called... It's called Effingham Street. Effingham Street. Oh dear, I've got to tell Ellie. I haven't told Ellie this yet. Okay, I've got to tell you something. So I Googled massage. It came up with local results. To my surprise, the first one was Paradise Studios.
Okay.
And it said, did massage and adult entertainment.
Okay.
But then I looked at where it is. I've never heard of this street before.
Yeah.
And the name of the street, bearing in mind, when you say adult entertainment, you know exactly what they're providing. The name of the street is... Gosh, the name of the street. I just can't believe this. The name of the street is Effingham Street. Effingham. Effingham Street. Oh, dear. So yeah, Effingham Street. I mean, have they done that deliberately? Oh, I hope you're as entertained as I was, listeners.
Well, there is precedent, isn't there? Because the head of South Yorkshire Police is on Let's Avenue.
Yeah, so there's a Let's Avenue. So that's genuine, yeah, there is the Let's Avenue is where the Chevy... Is that a normal thing for other places, though?
Oh, I don't know.
So maybe it is a little...
But it is just a
maybe it's just a Sheffield joke. It's like the police go on Let's Avenue, the sex workers on Effingham Street.
If you're a bit of a loner and your life's incomplete, you've got a bit of a boner and it just won't retreat. Well, there's a happy little haven where you can get depraved in, where there's lots of lovely loving lads and lasses to meet down in Effingham Street. Excellent service at an excellent price. You can choose from their menu or you can just roll a dice. They've got the skill to thrill and entertain every vice. And they've actually got a vice, but it doesn't feel very nice down in Effingham Street. They've got a good hygiene rating, they rinse their genitals in a sink, then they're ready to perform and to service any kink. They will whip you, they will strip you, they'll give you a lovely backside massage, and there's a man who will spank you and pretend he's Nigel Farage down in Effingham Street. So come along if you're in the mood to get rude. They do a family discount if you're not such a prude as to share your love with your wife and your grandmother and your sister and your brother, and they can still squeeze in one other down in Effingham Street. January the 13th.
Well, my friends, what are the odds? I've just come back from my first stand-up gig of the year. In fact, my first gig of the year. It was an absolute delight. There was a part of me thinking about doing the Effingham Street song. But I hadn't got the backing track prepared, and I feel like maybe that was a mistake. It would have been the ideal time to have performed it last night, because what are the odds that on the day that I find out about Effingham Street and then make the song about Effingham Street, who should be in the audience but a group of swingers? I got told that there were some swingers in the audience just before I went on, so Effingham Street would have been perfect.
Apparently we've got some swingers at the back. Yeah, well, there they are. Yeah, excellent. I don't know if that's actually been... Someone told me that. I don't know if that's true, but... It is true. It is true. Yeah, right, well, we know where the after-show party is then, don't we? Yeah. It's not going to be the only thing I'm squeezing tonight. All right. There we go. Are you ready to rock? Yeah! The people at the back are going a bit harder here, and they're going, am I ready for cock? Of course I am. I'm a swinger. I'm ready for swing, not rock, but anyway. All right. Well, that's the 5 minutes sorted at the end then. Excellent.
Yeah, actually, I didn't think about that. Effingham Street is actually, it is in a sort of a swing style, isn't it? It's got a bit of a swing vibe to it. Maybe I could enlist the services of the swingers, but I don't mean for anything swinging related. Maybe they could provide backing vocals for me. Although, bearing in mind my studio is in my bedroom. Well, you want to come to my house and do some recording? And then I bring them in, there's a bed there. I'm not sure if I can trust them, to be honest. But then again, I don't know, just because they're swingers, it doesn't mean to say they're swinging all the time. You know, they've obviously got jobs and stuff, I assume. You know, they hold down normal lives. It's not the only thing they hold down. That's one thing I am fascinated by, about the swingers. I'm just intrigued to know how it works. How does it work in terms of, like, what do you talk about when you arrive? You know, that's when you turn up at the door. Thanks very much for having us all over to your house and hosting the swingers party. I've brought a gift. Oh, really? You shouldn't have. Oh, no. My philosophy, don't come empty-handed. You'll discover that a little bit later, if you stick around. I don't know why they wouldn't stick around. It's their house. That'd be quite odd. Yeah, I'm just going to go and do some work upstairs while you do some work downstairs, if you know what I mean. I don't think you'd have to say if you know what I mean. I don't know how many euphemisms there would be in swingers parties. I think they're very much out in the open, as it were. Oh, actually, can you not go in the garden? That's one of the rules. Stay in the house. I'm intrigued as to what they talk about. I'm not particularly interested in the actual, when they get down to it. I'm interested in the before and the after. That's what I want to know about. If we have any swingers listening, and I'm sure after the success of last night's gig we will, could you do me a report on audio recording, but I want it switched off when things are happening? So you know when to stop the recording. Remember this little motto. Turn it off, have it off. There you go. I mean, in fairness, though, are things happening right from the start? Presumably, but presumably if you turn up at a reasonable time, if you turn up, like, early-ish for the swingers party, there's presumably a point where things haven't started yet. And then you're just having a bit of a chat. And what do you chat about? It's like, oh, how's the family? Maybe that's what they do. How's your family? Then how's your father? That's what it's like. I don't know, like, there's got to be, like, the small talk. That's what I'm interested in. Do you come here often? Well, if I'm lucky. There's got to be that moment where it's just a bit normal, like it's a normal party. I mean, yeah, you want to get to the finger buffet early. For hygiene reasons, when I say the finger buffet. But let's just say I walk into a room, it's a swingers party. I don't know who's around. You know, I've not been before. But, oh, hello, David. Do you want anything from the buffet, David? You've got to be careful about what you say. You know, like when it comes to the food, someone might be like, David, are you a meat eater? And I think they're talking about the food. I'm like, oh, yes, I am. And the next thing I know, can I tempt you to a spotted dick? You know, I wouldn't know what's food and what isn't. This could be very confusing. How about a chocolatey Claire? Well, I very much enjoyed that. And I think Claire had a good time too. Would you like to sample some of our tarts, David? I wouldn't have a clue what's going on being blind. I'm stood around the buffet table getting very confused. You wouldn't want to be eating before getting down to the swinging. I should never have said yes to the cream horn. Is there like an allotted time where the swinging starts? Like, does someone blow a whistle? I mean, maybe like a really egalitarian swingers party. They'll do it like they do in Formula 1. If there's people who suffer from premature ejaculation, they'll go off a little bit later. The people who can last a little bit longer, they get a head start. They lead a head start indeed. There you go. That makes it fair, doesn't it? You know, they get a head start, and then it comes to the other stuff. Everybody's at the same pace. I mean, bearing in mind I had the swingers there, I should have asked them, you must be drunk, or you must be on some kind of drugs. You can't do it sober, can you? Maybe you can. And you're just like, oh yeah, I'm driving tonight. Oh, I bet you are. Are you, my friend? Even that could seem like you're trying to chat someone up. I think that's the trouble. Everything could just be taken euphemistically at a swingers party. I suppose maybe that's how it works. I think that's how I would do it. That's how I would do it. If I was at a swingers party, someone would say something, I'd try to turn it into a euphemism, and then that would get the stuff started, I think. Because if they said, how do you do? I'd be like, how do I do? How do I do? Why don't we find out? Where have you come from? Well, just the usual place. But if you think there's something I'm missing, I'm happy to find out. Are you feeling good? Why don't you find out, my friend? I think that's how I'd have to do it. I'd have to rely on the euphemism, and then something would start. You know, if they said, oh, well, I'm doing all right now, but I have been feeling a bit down. And I'm like, look, if you'd like to feel down again, then I'm your man. I don't know why someone would tell you that they've been feeling down recently. That's a bit of an odd thing to say at a swingers party. Start talking about your mental health. Hello, my friend, what's up? Why don't you find out what's up, my friend? I don't know why I'm calling them my friend. My friend. Everyone I'm going with has got really deep voices. You start by doing a bit of small talk about the weather. Oh, it's been lovely weather, hasn't it? But it's being ginger, I can't stay in the sun too long. Well, how about I take you where the sun don't shine? My friend. So I think that's how I'd do it. If there are any wannabe swingers, then you can use this. If you're thinking, I've always wanted to be a swinger, but I didn't know how to get going, that, I think, is your way in. Literally your way in. Aren't the hosts wonderful? They'd bend over backwards for you. Why don't we put that to the test, my friend?
They can provide you a disguise if you're worried about discretion. If you suffer from Catholic guilt, their resident priest can do a confession. You can pay in instalments, but please keep on top of your debt, or they might release some photos of you that you will regret down in Effingham Street. If you're a toff who's well off and ordinary people you snub, you can join their VIP, privates and members club. But if you're really short on cash, you can still have a lark, as there's always amateurs who hang around in the car park down in Effingham Street. Down in Effingham Street. Yeah. Oh, yeah. January the 14th.
Oh, by the way, I've just received an email from my bank, Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
It's from the customer service people, and it says, we'd be grateful if you could take some time to share your experience of our banking call centre, because obviously of our recent call. Yeah. So, I mean, I could. They've said, you can leave us a Trustpilot review, or if you want to leave some personal feedback, you can do that here. And there's a link, and I can contact them. So maybe I should just send them a link to last week's podcast, where I told the story about how I confused one of their call centre staff by him thinking that I'd gone to see a sex worker when I hadn't. Now, the slight problem, Ellie, is doing a daily recording. By the way, I should point out, if you're wondering what the heck that noise is, that's not, neither myself or Ellie are particularly flatulent while recording this, although that does potentially link to one thing I'm going to tell you about, or, well, I was pontificating of whether to tell you about it or not. We'll come back to that.
No,
this sound yes,
is a needle going through some taut linen on an embroidery hoop, because I'm not giving you my full attention, David, as usual, really. I'm doing some embroidery at the same time.
She's always doing embroidery. She never gives my full attention, even in our most intimate of moments. If you can just picture that, people.
I've got some crochet on in the background.
Sometimes the needle slips, and my goodness. Anyway, well, I quite enjoyed, actually. I didn't think I was into that kind of thing, but there we go. Oh, correction and amendments, firstly. We should address one of the things I realised as soon as I pressed upload on the podcast. I said, when I was in the bath, I mentioned the oboe. And I said the oboe player had joined a brass band in my fictional story here. And it wasn't until I pressed the upload button, immediately my brain went, the oboe is a woodwind instrument. Yeah. I got that wrong. I know it's hard.
I'm sure we're going to have had people writing in.
Because the podcast has only just been released, you see, at the time that this has been recorded, because of the way we're doing it. So we haven't had the maelstrom of angry wind and brass players. Talking of wind.
Yes.
I really don't know if I should, because I think the trouble is, so the problem with recording every day is that there's maybe something in my mind, and now I can't think of anything else. Oh, bloody hell. My goodness.
Sorry, I was trying to warn you that's why I put my hand on your leg.
The weird thing is what happened was Ellie put her hand on my leg, so I then turned. I've been slightly facing away from her because she's got a bit of a cold. Yeah. But because she put her hand on my leg, the first thing I instinctively did was turn my head into her direction, and that was exactly when she proceeded to sneeze right in my face. This links us perfectly to talking of spontaneous emissions. So, but my point is, if we weren't recording daily, then I would never think about telling you this story.
No, you wouldn't.
Because I'd just be like, well, why? Why would I? There's other things that would have happened. But when you're recording daily, sometimes you're just like, well, what am I going to talk about? I haven't got much time. And then this is the only thing that's in my head.
I mean, you might not normally talk about this, but I would probably say that this is a good story for a podcast.
Okay, well, that is to be seen. But I think there is a danger of oversharing. And I think after what this podcast started out as in what this particular episode started out, where it was all very cultural about Morocco, and then it sort of descended into Effingham Street stuff, and then yesterday onto the subject of swingers. So I'm slightly worried that this is becoming a little bit too sort of smutty almost. And
we can move on from that next week.
Next week, why don't we try...
We'll be classy next week.
Right, we'll try to do that. But right now, I really don't want to tell you this, but this is the story that we're going to conclude with. And bearing in mind I'm 40, this has never happened to me before. After our trip to Marrakesh, when we got to Manchester, we were meant to be getting the train straight to Sheffield, but because of there was a storm, we couldn't get the train back to Sheffield, so we stayed in a hotel. The man at the reception, he said, this is how much it is, but he said, but you also need to do a percentage deposit, so it was like £40 deposit or something like that. Yeah. But he said, don't worry, you'll get it back as long as nothing happens. We'll
sort it out in the morning.
We'll sort it back. It'll happen automatically, and it should happen tomorrow. And I was slightly concerned because it hadn't happened tomorrow, and I thought I'd thrown away my deposit because of what had happened. Ellie went to the toilet. I was just about to go to the toilet. This is in the morning, and I'm still in the bed. Ellie gets up to go to the toilet. I was just about to say, I think I need to go to the toilet. Or I think I very much needed a number 2. But Ellie had already beaten me to it. And I didn't think anything of it. My body let out a fart. And that was not all that happened. That's not all that occurred.
From my perspective, I was in the toilet.
When I say occurred, that is very much the sort of substance that it felt like and it's that weird thing. I
think the best description for people is if you've been eating Maltesers in bed and just dropped one and there's been a bit of a melt.
Well, I had dropped one, but it wasn't Maltesers.
So I just started stripping off the bed.
I said we should rinse it off. Like, rinse it off the bed sheets.
The situation that had occurred from your bottom was not going to react well to trying to rinse it off.
So I don't know what happened. I think I'm blaming it on all the attention my backside's been getting recently because the Moroccan women were doing the massage. We talked about this, and they were in the spa and they were massaging my backside. And I think there's something in those oils. Maybe we talked about the unexpected efficacy of the anti-wrinkle cream when we went to see the Marrakeshan women. Yeah. And they were created various remedies, and we were surprised at how it had got rid of my wrinkles.
Your wrinkles, I was flabbergasted of how smooth your skin had got.
We mentioned that there was all these different teas, and one of them was for constipation relief. Yeah. And maybe this stuff is just so potent that even though we didn't buy the constipation relieving tea, somehow just by being in its presence, it was enough to just loosen stuff up. So I think it's and it's like slow acting. I think that's maybe what's going on. So I'm blaming it on the Moroccan women, the women of Marrakesh, for loosening up my backside in 2 different ways. So then I was concerned because I thought, well, now they're going to find out about this, even though Ellie had sort of rolled it all up. Because Ellie said what will happen is they'll just stick it straight in the wash.
Yeah, and they'll just assume that there was a period leak or something like that. It happens.
Yeah, or that you did a bit of embroidery and we got a bit excited. I was worried about the deposit as well. Well, indeed, I was. But I mean the £40 deposit, because I thought, well, are they going to give it back? They said it was going to come back tomorrow, and it hadn't arrived at the day, and it hadn't arrived the following day. There was a part of me that thought, well, I could call them up about the deposit, but there was no way I was going to do that, because I didn't want to be on the phone to them. They said, just a second, sir, please hold. Although, from what we know about you, you've a bit of a problem with that, don't you, sir? And I'm like, oh, my goodness. A deposit for a deposit, sir. That's our rule. I was a bit worried. I thought it's £40. I will happily forgo the £40 rather than being on a call centre. Another call centre. Imagine if it's the same bloke. He's moved away now from the bank and he's moved into a call centre for that hotel. He says, I recognise your voice. We had a bit of an odd chat last time, didn't we? Anyway, what's this about? And I'm like, it's all right, actually, mate. The reason this is fresh in my mind is because today the deposit came through. So that's just come through. So when I was wondering what to talk about today, that came through. I thought, well, I could tell that story. I think I am wishing that I hadn't in a way, but it's... I mean, I am slightly concerned as well because Ellie's mother listens to this or listen to episode 1.
She loved episode 1. She's just told me how funny it was.
Yeah, but she hasn't heard this episode, obviously, so this is...
Well, I did say I don't know if he's going to talk about it, so in case he doesn't, this is what happened.
Oh, you've already told her?
Yeah.
Oh, so she gets to relive it again?
She thought it was hilarious.
Okay, well, let's see how she finds it the second time round with everything that we've talked about. I had to make up that you were doing embroidery. There is proof that I am normally absolutely fine at being flatulent and not doing anything else.
That's true.
Because there is an episode of the David Eagle podcast called Fart Yoga. Proof there that I can contort myself deliberately into shapes that are meant to be flatulent relieving and there's not been an issue. But I mean, maybe, now that I'm 40, maybe we could try it again. This is because it was 2020 when we did fart yoga.
It was lockdown.
So, yeah, well, might not be locked down this time. And that's the end of the podcast, essentially. So that's how we're ending.
Maybe you need to write a new song of Effluence Street.
Anyway, we shall be back next week.
Yep.
Who knows what information we will divulge. Goodbye.
Bye.